Today in our reading plan, we are on 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and this is one of the most famous chapters in the whole Bible. It's a short chapter, but it's a beautiful chapter. You'll find this on plaques on walls in many Christian homes, and so let's read a lot of this together. Paul says, "If I could speak all the languages of earth and of angels, but didn't love others, I would be a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal." Remember, he's talking about what he left off on in chapter 12, where the church in Corinth was seeking all of these spiritual gifts, and one of those gifts that they especially were seeking was the gift of speaking in tongues. We'll talk about that a little bit more in chapter 14. But they were missing the whole point. They thought these gifts were sort of like badges, and they were proud of their gifts. But Paul, in this chapter, is trying to encourage them to see that the greatest gift is love, and any other spiritual gift is worthless without love. And so in verse 2, he says, "If I had the gift of prophecy, and if I understood all of God's secret plans, and if I possessed all knowledge, and if I had such faith that I could move mountains." And all of these are spiritual gifts that we read about in chapter 12. But Paul's point is, if I had all of these gifts, but I didn't love others, I would be nothing. If I gave everything I have to the poor and even sacrificed my body, I could boast about it, but if I didn't love others, I would have gained nothing. And again, Paul's point is that love is what it is all about anyway. And then he describes love starting in verse 4. Love is patient and kind. Love isn't jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable. It keeps no record of being wronged. Love does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up. Love never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. What a powerful description of love. But see, he says prophecy and all of these other things, these things become useless without love. Love lasts longer than all of these other gifts, and none of these gifts make any sense or have any value without a heart of love and a desire to love God and to love others. And so Paul says at the end of this chapter in verse 13, 3 things will last forever: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. So you're ready now to read 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We'll see you tomorrow for chapter 14.